Good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, whenever you're joining us. Welcome to the first ever Zoom class to be offered as a collaboration between the Lucy Robbins Wells Library and the Newington Parks and Recreation Department. This is a 60-minute gentle yoga class and is available to everyone, including beginners. My name is Cynthia Wolcott, and I am a registered yoga instructor and have been teaching through the town's Parks and Rec Department, as well as in many other venues for over 12 years. If you haven't already gathered a yoga mat, a light blanket or thick towel, and maybe a sofa cushion or two, or blocks if you have them, please pause this video now and gather them. Welcome back to those of you who are gathering goods. I want you all to hear this if you hear nothing else that I say. If any of the movements I demonstrate or describe does not feel safe for you or doable in your body, please listen to your body and feel completely free to adapt the pose to your safety and comfort level. Do not do anything that feels unsafe. So let's get started. For those of you new to yoga class, the practice most often opens and closes with a meditation. So there will be movement and breath work in between. So let us start. I'm going to move back to my mat. You're probably already on yours. So let's start on our backs in something that is called constructive rest. So however it's good for you to get down to your back with your feet hip distance and parallel. You don't want them too close and you don't want them too far. If they're too close, your thighs have to work. If they're too far, your belly has to work. So you want to find that middle spot. You can imagine your shin and your thigh are like playing cards, and you're building a house of cards, and you want them to hold each other up with equal force, I was going to say, but you don't really want any force. It's just so easy. Your arms are at your sides, your palms are facing up. Now, if it's uncomfortable for you to have your head on the floor like this, or if your chin is higher than your forehead, grab that thick towel or that light blanket or that sofa pillow and place it under your head. And from here, just let your eyes gently close. And I'm going to invite you to just notice your breath as it comes into and out of your body. When we meditate, we often have an anchor for our meditation. So in this case, the following of the breath is the anchor. So you're not trying to change anything here. You're just noticing. Notice if it's shallow or deep. Notice if it's smooth or jagged. Notice how much or if your belly rises. Notice how much or if your chest rises. Notice if being here, parts of your back or your hip or your shoulders get to let go and start to feel heavier against the mat. And now bring your hands so that they're right on the bottom of your rib cage. And just take a few natural breaths in. This will give you a more intimate feel for what's happening with your breath and your body. You'll be able to feel the ribs expand maybe a little bit, maybe rise a little bit. And now consciously slow your breath to the count of 5 in and 5 out. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 3 more slow counted in and out breaths to the count of 5. Feeling the expansion of the rib cage, and then feel it come back in. And then move your hands down to the low belly. So they're somewhere between your navel and the pubis, and do the same thing. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep doing that. And see how much you can fill that low belly, how much it can expand with the breath without forcing. Three more cycles of breath, in and out. Slow, conscious, and deliberate. And after you complete that last cycle of breath, bring your hands back to the mat, palms facing up, and just notice if there's maybe a little bit less anxiety or stress or increased relaxation. Slowing and deepening your breath is known to calm anxiety and stress. So that's a tool you can use at any time, and you don't have to be lying down or in any special position. So you can keep your pillow if you like it. I don't actually need it, so I'm going to move mine behind me. And now bring your arms to your sides, palms facing down. Let's start to wake up the body now. Inhale, slowly, your arms overhead. If your fingernails can touch the ground, awesome. If not, take them as far as they go. Exhale, back down. Slowly and with the breath. So our shoulders are designed to move our arm bones in so many directions, but as part of our daily lives, we move most of our body in just a fraction of the ways it was created to move. So one of my overarching principles of living and of teaching yoga and other healing movement modalities is to invite people to move their bodies in as many ways as possible that it was created to move, as often as possible, preferably daily. So all of my classes are designed with that in mind. So by doing this, for instance, daily, you will keep the ability to be able to perhaps put your light carry-on luggage overhead and reach for something on a high closet shelf. Next time your arms go up, let them stay there and reach them up. So reach your fingertips away from your torso, away from your hips. Feel the length happen. Maybe your belly is going to hollow out a little bit. And then bring those arms down. And once you get back to constructive rest, pause and notice rolling your palms up, which is a gesture of receiving. And now bring your arms out like a T. I've got to move my blanket, it's in the way. Your palms facing down. Widen your feet just a little bit. Take a deep breath in and really easily just let your knees fall a little bit to the right. Inhale up, let your knees fall a little bit to the left. Inhale up, knees fall right. So we're getting little stretches in there, and these movements are attracting blood flow, which is a good thing. One more to each side. And then the next time you come up, come back to constructive rest. Notice and feel. And then bring your knees in a little bit and bring your hands to your knees, fingertips facing your feet. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, move your knees towards your chest. Inhale, move them away. Exhale, toward. So you'll notice that your low back lifts off of the floor when your knees move away, and it moves toward the floor. So we're getting a little bit of extension and a little bit of flexion, or a little teeny bit of back bending. And then one more here. And then come back, take a breath here, and start to move your knees in parallel circles. Feel how the entire rim of your sacrum is touching the ground as you circle around. That's what we're going for. Maybe creating a little bit more mobility in the low back. A lot of people get stuck there, especially in this new environment where we're all in our homes a little bit more. And then pause in the center and take the parallel circles in the other direction. Staying connected to the deep breathing, maybe exhaling as the knees come close and inhaling as they move far away. And then the next time the knees come in, you might interlace your hands, hug the knees in, and rock a little bit from side to side, a little massage for the low back. And now we're going to move to the hips, which are often also tight in many people. So bring the hands back to the knees, fingertips facing the feet. Take a deep breath in, exhale, draw the knees close, and then take them away. This time we're bringing the knees in opposing circles. And in so doing, we are circling the thigh bone or the head of the femur in the socket. And every time we do that, we are stimulating our body's production of its own joint lubricant, which is called synovial fluid, also a good thing. So for many of you who may have arthritis, you've probably been advised to move and walk anyway. And that's probably why, because the more you move the joints, the more your body lubricates itself. And then reverse the direction of the circles. So that said, there are certain kinds of pain you do not want to work through, and only you know what those are. So if anything during this practice or any other practice feels like it's red flag pain or unsafe in any way, know that it is your responsibility to stop right then, find something else to do, or just come into a rest pose like this, hugging your knees in, or setting your feet down and coming back to constructive rest. Take a deep breath in here, palms face up. Notice and feel there might be some sensation in your hip joints that's happening now. That means you moved some energy. And now we're going to do some core strengthening, very gentle and very back friendly. So bring your knees directly over your hips. You'll see my arms are out like a T, and your shins are as close to parallel to the floor as they can be. And with pointed toes, inhale up over the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to straight, and then flex your feet down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice your core muscles down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pointing up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flexing down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a couple more on your own. A strong core is necessary for everything that we do. I think it's one of the secrets of the universe. And it behooves us to learn to engage that core as we go about our daily lives, and most particularly when we lift heavy or awkward things. One more. And next time you bend, and you can bring those knees in. This is going to feel really good. It's going to feel like a sweet release. And then come back to center and bring your arms to your sides. Re-extend the legs. If they can be straight, have them be straight. If the hamstrings dictate that the knees be bent a little bit, that's okay too. And try to keep your heels directly over your hips and slightly press your legs together. Again, that's going to sort of passively engage your core muscles, which will strengthen you. And those are the muscles you want to engage when you're doing something strenuous or awkward or heavy lifting. 2 more cycles of breath in this. This is reclining staff pose. And then inhale your arms overhead. Palms are facing one another. Heels are pressing up and fingertips are reaching overhead. Again, pressing the legs together just a little bit, feeling your core working. You can do this. You are doing this. Taking breaks whenever that is indicated for you. This is your practice. Let it work for you. And then bend your knees, bring them in. Unlike some endurance sports where there is no gain without pain, so no pain, no gain, that's where that comes from. You have to break through your resistance to be a marathon runner or a long distance cyclist. But in yoga, if pain, no gain. So you never want pain. Therapeutic discomfort, yes, and only you know where that is. So bring your feet hip distance again. This time you want your shins straight up and down so that your feet are a little bit closer than they were in constructive rest. Now, as you inhale your arms overhead, bring your hips up. And if you're using a pillow, this is a good time to take it out. You don't actually want to be using a pillow when you come into bridge. Exhale down, unless it is making your forehead level with your chin. You do not want your chin higher than your forehead. Inhale the arms up as you lift your hips up. Exhale the arms down. You also don't want to turn your head here, so no need to look at the screen. Let your nose point straight at the ceiling. And the next time your hips go up, stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, maybe press up a little higher, 1, and then slowly arms down and hips down. Pause here, your palms face up. Feel what's happening in your hips. Anywhere else you might feel new sensations, they could register as pins and needles or tingling or a change in temperature. So that was bridge pose that we just did. First, we did dynamic bridge, going into and out of it, and then we held bridge pose. Now bring the soles of your feet together, knees dropping out wide. Arms can be out like a T, or you might bring your arms overhead and hold on to opposite elbow. This is reclining bound angle pose. So it's a really powerful groin stretch, you'll notice, and an adductor stretch, that's your inner thighs. You'll also notice how your low back comes off the ground when you do this. So it's taking your spine into a little bit of extension. One more cycle of breath. And then your arms come down. If you want, you can use your hands to push your legs back up to constructive rest and notice and feel here. And then I'm going to move away because I have to navigate around furniture, which you may have to as well. So now extend your left leg straight out and bring your right knee in. You can interlace your hands over or under it. Inhale, move that knee a little bit away. Exhale, move that knee a little bit toward. So we are currently moving into and out of something called wind relieving pose. And the next time your knee comes in, hold here for 5 cycles of breath. If your back is tweaky, it might help you to bring that left foot to the ground. But if your back feels safe and comfortable here, you might stay right here. Take a couple of deep breaths and notice how your belly and your thigh and your hip all relate to one another here. And then release that right leg straight up in the air and interlace your hands behind it. Try again to have your heel over your hip. Even if your knees have to be bent in order to make that happen, that's okay. And from here, press your thigh into your interlaced hands just a little bit and feel the muscles of your legs unite a little bit. And take one more deep cycle of breath here. And then keep your leg where it is, but release the pressing and start to take that right foot in circles. Notice where you feel this effort in the foot. Notice any snaps and crackles and pops. But also notice how far up into your body you feel it. I feel it all the way into my right glute. And then go the other way. But no, in yoga, there is no right, there is no wrong. There is only what is true for you in each moment. And then point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. Now hold the point. Really lengthen your leg as much as you can and hold the point, and maybe press that leg into your hands a little bit as well. Taking however many of those variations are appropriate for you and discarding the rest. And then press your heel up. Feel that powerful calf stretch. Maybe a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Maybe a little bit of an Achilles tendon stretch. Hold and breathe. And then release that foot to the opposite knee. So right foot comes to left knee. Left hand comes to outside of the right knee. Right hand out like a T. And as you exhale, draw that knee over to the side. If it doesn't comfortably get to the floor, you can grab one of those sofa pillows and let it come to the sofa pillow, or a block if you have it, or that blanket or towel. But if the knee does comfortably get to the floor, then go ahead and do that. That right shoulder does not have to stay down, but no matter where it is, see if you can imagine a feeling of heaviness, like there are sandbags attached. One more deep cycle of breath in this knee down spinal twist. And then rise back up, coming back to constructive rest, arms at your sides. Just go inward, maybe close your eyes, feel the difference between the two hips, the two side bodies, the two legs, just wherever you feel that difference. And then start to bring your left knee in toward your chest, interlacing your hands over or under the knee. Again, if your back is tweaky, you can keep that right foot where it is, or you might extend that leg. Now from here, on each inhale, move the knee a little bit away. On each exhale, move it a little bit toward the chest and shoulder. Inhale, move away. Exhale, toward. So only have your hands where mine are now if you have pretty flexible knees. If your knees are tighter, then definitely bring your hands down below. And next time your knees come, or your knee comes in, just stay here for 5 cycles of breath, noticing the relationship between the hip and the belly and the thigh with each breath. So this wind relieving pose can be a good thing to do if you are experiencing back pain. It can help relieve that. And then on your next inhale, bring that leg straight up in the air. Your hands are interlaced behind the thigh, close to the knee, and start to make circles with the foot in one direction. Noticing all the places you feel that. And then the other direction. And then point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. And then hold that point, pressing that leg into the hands a little bit. Deep cycles of breath. And then flex, feel that stretch in the calf, hamstring behind the knee, maybe Achilles tendon, and breathe deeply and consciously. Release that foot, bring that foot to the opposite knee. So left foot to right knee, left arm out like a T, right hand outside of left knee, pulls that knee across the body and down, landing on a sofa pillow or a block or a blanket or the floor. Left shoulder will probably naturally lift, that's okay. See if you can feel a sensation of heaviness there. Like it's being weighted with a sandbag, pulling it toward the floor, but not with effort, with intention. Deep breath. See if you can get the breath all the way into the upper side of the rib cage. And then inhale back up to constructive rest. Arms at your sides, palms facing up, relaxing and feeling. And then hug your knees in one more time. Rock a little bit, giving yourself a nice massage. See how that massages your lower back. And since we can't go to massage therapists yet, this might be the best you're getting unless you live with someone who does that for you. And then roll over to your favorite side. Use your hands to press you up to sitting. And I'm going to show you how to sit on a blanket or a block or a rolled up towel. So this is how I have my blanket folded. It's about that thick. And I want you to start by sitting just with your sits bones. Those are the bony protuberances under all that buttock flesh. So sit square on them and then squiggle yourselves so that those sits bones are right on the fold. And what that does is it gives you a really healthy lumbar curve, which will help keep your low back safe with minimal effort on your part. What you want to try not to do is this. So if there's any way that you can lengthen, imagine the crown of your head is being pulled upward, that your sternum is being pulled upward, and then having your sits bones right on the fold of your blanket can really help. Okay, so I'm going to turn now so that I'm facing you and come into a comfortable seated posture. Hopefully the work we did opened your hips a little bit and has made that easier for you. And start with your arms out to your side. Know that if there's any discomfort, you can take that block if you have one, or sofa pillow if you don't, and prop up your knees. That can help alleviate any discomfort from your hips. Also, there's no rule that says you have to sit cross-legged. You could bring one leg out. We're all going to be doing that soon. Or you could bring your legs out in front. So find a seated posture that feels safe and comfortable and sustainable for you. Arms out to your sides, spine nice and long. Inhale up. You can touch your fingertips at the top if they'll do that. Exhale down. So these are sun breaths. You may have heard of sun salutations. These are sun breaths. You may, if your neck is okay with that, look up as your hands go up, and you may neutralize your gaze as they go down. One more. And now when your fingertips come together, bring your hands down to prayer position in front of your heart space, and just take a few breaths here, letting yourself feel the after effects of that. Maybe you feel some sensation in the upper shoulders, in the fronts or the backs or the upper arms. And then from here, Inhale, bring your heart forward and your arms back. Exhale, round your upper back and bring the backs of your hands together. Inhale, forward, draw your shoulder blades together. When you do that, exhale, you can bring your shoulder blades apart. Inhale, heart forward. This is seated cat-cow. So this is the cat part, and this is the cow part. And next time you come into the cow part, draw your shoulder blades together, your arms are behind you, lengthen your spine, pause here. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and then bring your palms up onto your lap. Close your eyes and notice. See if you feel any sensation across the top of your chest that may not have been there before. So yoga, moving with our breath, it moves energy, and that's what that tingling is. So I recommend you drink a lot of water after a yoga practice to carry some of the energy that's been moved and carry things that are no longer serving you out of your body. So now your hands are behind you, your legs are in the straddle, and from here, inhale, roll your feet wide, exhale them together. So this is really attracting blood flow and synovial fluid, blood flow to the muscles and synovial fluid to the joints of the hips, which are chronically tight in most of us because we only use this miraculous joint that can move our thigh bones in every possible direction. We only move it up and down and forward and back when we walk and we get into and out of chairs. Pause. Bring each foot in 10 inches for longer legs, 6 inches for shorter legs, and somewhere in between. Inhale, rolling the feet wide. Exhale, together. And then pause. One more time, feet come a little bit closer so that your big toes touch or nearly touch when you roll them together. And then pause, let the feet just roll out wide, relax your hands a little bit. Feel the energy pooling in the hip joint and the groins a little bit. And then bring your legs together, flex your feet, point your sits bones behind you. I'm going to give you the side view of that. If I just sit regular, now I'm going to point my sits bones behind me, and that creates a deeper arch in the low back. So if you can get that graphic, point your sits bones behind you, and that's going to lengthen your spine a little bit too. You can imagine your sternum is being tugged upward, as is the crown of your head. If you want to imagine a cord attached to a knob in each of those places, let your hands rest lightly under your shoulders. So you're not straightening your arms and you're not pressing, they're just soft. Now flex your feet, pressing your heels out. So there's lots of actions here. Pressing your sits bones behind you, pressing your heels out, press your legs down into the mat. All of these pressings are to 5% of your ability to do so. And then lastly, press your legs together. When you do all of those things, you will feel it will automatically engage what is often called your inner corset. So this is giving you functional strength in all of those core muscles. 5 cycles of breath. Deep cycles of breath in and out. And then relax. And now take your left leg. I'm using mirror language now, so you can look like a mirror reflection of me. So even though it's my right leg, it's your left leg. So just don't want you to be confused for those of you who are new to my classes. Your hands are out to the sides. And from here, inhale your right arm up and over, coming into a side bend. Exhale down 4 more times and hold. Inhale, exhale. One more, and we're going to hold this next one. And for here, you want to really press the right sits bone down and feel that length all the way from the sits bone to the tip of those fingers. You can shake your head no a little bit. If your neck tends to hold tension, you might just want to look at the floor, and that can help relieve some of that tension. So if it's flaccid, you're not going to get much stretch. So if I soften my arm, I'm not going to get as much stretch as if I reach those fingertips away. So you decide in there what is appropriate for you. And then inhale up, exhale down, pause, feel that. And then inhale your other arm up, so the left arm comes up. Exhale, take that hand across your body to the outside of the opposite knee, and then your right hand comes behind you. Now for some neck opening, you might inhale your chin over your front shoulder and exhale over the back. And then let your head land somewhere off to the side, so it's between the center of your chest and your back shoulder. Deep breaths into the places that feel the tightest in the torso. And then come back to center, pause here. Now flex that left foot, engage the muscles of the leg. Inhale the arms up in a nice wide V, reaching the fingertips up, drawing the shoulder blades down, imagining that you're pulling these upper arm bones into the shoulder sockets. Leg is active, pressing that heel away. 2 more cycles of breath, breathing broadly into your rib cage. And next, exhale brings the hands down to your mat. And press those hands into the mat, pull them isometrically towards you. You might see how my spine just grew longer. I'm going to go back. So if I'm all soft, it's like this. If I press my hands into the mat and pull them isometrically toward me, it automatically lengthens my spine and lifts my sternum. Now you can let that leg go soft. Now from here, this might be just right. You might stay right here. If you're looking for more stretch, deeper sensation, and still safe, you can inch forward with the hands, still with a flat back and a lifted chest. If you have spinal osteoporosis, you do not want to round your back unsupported, so you would stay right here. But for those of you who feel safe and whose backs do not hurt and who do not have spinal osteoporosis, you might round. And notice as you take each one of these variations that it stretches a different set of muscles. And there's no right, there's no wrong. Again, there is what is true for you. So I invite you to listen to that and heed that. One more deep cycle of breath, noticing what you feel and where you feel it. And then rising up and bring your hands back to the sides. And then bring both legs out in front of you, lean back, close your eyes, notice and feel. Feel the difference between the two sides. And then bring your other leg out to the side. So the right leg comes out to the side, the left leg comes in. If your foot doesn't come that far, bring it to wherever your comfort level is. And remember, you can support with a block or a sofa pillow, or I have a stack of books over there. You could even use a book. So whatever makes it work in your body. And then your hands are out to your sides. Inhale, left arm up and over, exhale down. Inhale, up and over, exhale down. One more in movement. And then hold here. This time plugging down the left sits bone, reaching that arm up and over, feeling that whole side body stretch. Shaking your head no if there's any tension being held in your neck, maybe even looking at the floor. One more cycle of breath. And then inhale up, exhale, hands down. And now inhale the other arm up. And now exhale that hand to the outside of the left knee and bring that other hand up and back, coming into a twist to the other side. And now from here, inhale your chin over your right shoulder, exhale over the left. One more time. And then let your head land somewhere off to the left. So your chin is between your center of your chest and that left shoulder. Breathe into the tightest spaces in your torso. These deep cleansing breaths. And then inhale, center, arms to your sides, notice and feel. And then engage the right leg, send your right heel out, flexing that foot. Inhale your arms up into a nice wide V, sits bones pointing behind you, reaching up. And breathing broadly into the rib cage, drawing the shoulder blades down and the upper arm bones into the shoulder sockets. Breathing broadly into this rib cage. And then exhale down. Hands come to the mat. Press the hands or the fingertips, if that's as far as you get, into the mat. Pull isometrically toward you. Feel the length that happens in your spine. Feel the deepening inner thigh stretch. Maybe even a deepening hamstring stretch in that straight leg. Stay right here. Perhaps walk your hands forward a little bit. Stay there. Or if you feel safe to do so and you do not have spinal osteoporosis, you might also round. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And then use your hands to walk yourself back up to sitting. Hands come behind you. Legs come out in front. And just pause here and notice and feel. And then bring your feet to the mat. And you can have them be about hip distance apart. And wrap your arms, you can hold on to your forearms. And from here, first lengthen your spine and then soften it. Lengthen and soften and round. One more time. And then stay here, feeling that stretch in the back of your neck. And then come up, come back to sitting, however you prefer to sit. If you're sitting cross-legged like I am, bring the non-habitual foot in front or on top for equal time. We'll do some neck opening. So from here, consciously lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your chin to your chest. And now inhale, roll your left ear over your left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear over right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And keep going just like that. One more time, each side. And the next time your left ear is over your left shoulder, just check in with your shoulders, let them consciously drop. Take your chin around in little tiny circles in one direction and then the other direction. And then pause here. This might be where you stay, or you might inhale your right arm straight up, keeping the left ear over the left shoulder, exhaling, slowly lowering that arm down so the hand lands somewhere between shoulder height and hip height, whatever is right for you so that you feel just the right amount of stretch in the right side of your neck. One more breath here, and then just turn your gaze toward the floor and feel that. And then turn your gaze back to the front. Bring the arm down to the lap. Exhale, chin to chest. And then inhale, right ear over right shoulder. Little tiny circles with your chin. And then little tiny circles in the other direction. And then pause, make sure both of your shoulders are nice and soft. And then if you wish, inhale the left arm up. Exhale that arm down so that your hand lands somewhere between hip height and shoulder height, whatever's right for you. Again, if you hear no other message, I want you to hear that there is no right and there is no wrong. There is only what is true for you. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Imagine that each out breath is taking with it all that no longer serves you. And then turn your gaze toward the floor. Feel how that stretch changes. And then the gaze comes forward again. Hand comes down. Chin comes back to chest. Take one full cycle of breath there. And then use your fingertips or the heel of your palm to press your head up to neutral. Close your eyes, relax, and feel. And then open your eyes. I'm going to take a drink of tea. We're coming back to our backs now, so find your way onto your back and into constructive rest. With your feet hip distance and parallel. And just take a couple of breaths there, letting your spine neutralize now. And then from here, bring one leg straight up and the other leg straight up. Know again that if it's required, you can have your knees bent if your hamstrings don't like that other position. Do try to have your heels over your hips. So not this.
And bend your knees as much as you need to make that happen. So arms are at your sides. Feet are flexed. That means your heels are pressing up. Spine is long and legs are pressing toward one another to 5% of your ability to do so. Again, you'll feel how that engages the inner corset muscles, the core. So this is reclining staff pose. And then on your next in-breath, bring your arms up, palms facing one another, and take them as close to the floor as you can. Now you're going to reach the fingertips away from the hips, and you're going to reach the heels away from the hips. Still pressing your legs very lightly toward one another. This is the last of the poses that strengthen that we will do. So this is good as an inversion. Inversions sort of relieve the effects of gravity on your lower body, but they also have a number of other positive properties. And then bend your knees and bring them in and rock gently from side to side. Now your arms are out like a T. Take a deep breath in, let both knees fall a little bit to the left. Inhale up, let them fall a little bit to the right. Inhale up, they go a little bit more to the left. So do this a few times, going a little farther down toward the floor each time. Again, you may hear some snaps and some crackles and the pops. That's okay. And then let your knees come all the way to the left. If they don't comfortably get to the floor, take your blanket or your towel or your pillow or your block, make it as high as you need so that your muscles can let go. Knee down, spinal twist, another version. And then inhale up and exhale to the other side. Deep cycles of breath, 3 more deep cycles of breath. And after this, on your next inhale, bring your knees up, hug them in one last time. And now it is time for the final meditation pose, which is most often taken in Shavasana or corpse pose. So again, if you have to adjust to accommodate your furniture, do that. Your feet are 18 to 24 inches apart. Your feet can just roll wide, legs straight, arms straight. Your palms are up and there's no part of your arm touching your torso. Now, if this disturbs your back at all, you might want to bring a sofa pillow under each knee crease or roll up your blanket or your towel and bring it there. And that should relieve some of the compression. So you're going to be in this pose for about 4 more minutes. And I will tell you when it's time to come out. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go, but be here now. starting to reawaken now. And you can do so by coming back to awareness, by deepening your breath, by slowing your breath, by taking your wrists and your ankles in circles. And then whenever you are ready, roll over to your favorite side. Linger there for a breath or two. And then press yourself up to sitting, bringing your hands together in front of your heart space. Let your thumb knuckles rest on your sternum, feeling its rise and its fall with each deep breath. I thank you for sharing this yoga practice. I wish you peace. Namaste, which means the light in me bows to the light in you. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.